everybody. It's a nighttime video, so I don't know who's up, but we're going to get this video in. I'm going to get on screen in a minute, y'all. Come on in, everybody. I'm going to have to stop in about 10 minutes to check on my fish. I'm up baking some fish, y'all. When I can't sleep or when I don't want to sleep or don't feel like sleeping, I bake. I bake something. I like baking. I like baking or doing watercolor art or writing poetry in the middle of the night or a little short story. So I'm cooking some fish right now and it's in the middle of the night. But I want to share what I'm doing for 7 months and what I'm not doing for 7 months to get very lean by my birthday. So I went to an app and I went to look at how long will it take for me to get lean by my birthday, and it says 7 months. Now this is if I'm not fasting. This is if I'm just using exercise to lose the weight, like Tai Chi walking. So, um, but I'm using more than that. So that's why I'm gonna get very lean a lot sooner. I should be very lean by mid spring or even within 3 months. But I'm gonna share with y'all what I'm doing, and it's definitely gonna work. It makes a lot of sense, and I know because some of the stuff I did in the past, and that's how I stayed lean. So hopefully we'll get more people in here. I don't know who's up, but I'm gonna get on video in a minute. On video for about 10 minutes while my food is baking, and we're gonna talk. Hi, everybody. Hopefully, there's some people. There's some people woke. Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi, everyone. It's late, so that's why y'all can't see me, y'all. All right. It's dark. Hi, everybody. I'll light a candle in a minute so y'all could be able to see me. So I saw a quote that say it's never too late to set a new goal. So I'm gonna be setting some new goals, and I set a new goal um, for the next 7 months at least. Hi, everyone. It's late, that's why y'all can't see me, y'all. And this is a candlelit room, so I would have to get my candles out, get a candle lit. But I'm baking, y'all, so I gotta, get our video a couple times and check. So let's get started. What I am doing is I am going to be focusing on the first 2 hours just having liquids, my favorite liquids. So basically, I will, unless I'm working out that morning, I will only be having liquids the first 2 hours. If I'm working out that morning, then I will definitely be eating protein within the first 30 minutes woke. So what I decided to do is get me some Hawaiian wine, like the mimosas. I decided to do brunch instead of breakfast. So next year I'm brunching it. So basically, the only thing I can have until brunch would be mimosas, maybe some red wine, anything that hydrate me. That's the only thing I can have until brunch. Brunch is normally like 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours after you're woke. So that's what I'm gonna do. And what I'm doing is the first 2 hours woke, I'm just focusing on exercises that would keep my cortisol low, that would give me an emotional release. So the first 2 3 hours work is just simply hydration, mimosas, um, you know, um, fruity drink, creativity, and also a walk that at least burns 100 calories, a slow and steady walk, and also like I will be doing a lot of my cleaning at that time. So I'll be going from being creative to cleaning to walking. That way, the 2 hours go by pretty fast, and then it's time for brunch. Now, what I decided to do is eliminate all carb grains like breads, pasta, all of that. I'm not going to allow myself to have it after breakfast. And I will explain why it's wiser not to have potatoes or anything like that after breakfast. We're talking about like potatoes, breads, pasta, things like that, or oatmeal. Why you shouldn't have it after breakfast. The main reason why you shouldn't have those things after breakfast is because it's not in alignment with the circadian clock. A lot of people don't realize that. They don't realize um, that the circadian clock actually says you should be eating your carbs, your high carb food like oatmeal, pasta, um, potatoes. You have to actually eat that by like 9:30 a.m. After that, any other grains that you eat is supposed to be small game type of grains like seeds, like the smaller ones, like walnuts and things like that. That would be me being in alignment with the circadian clock. Okay, so I'm going to stay mindful of my circadian clock rhythm. So it doesn't matter what time I wake up. Um, if I'm going to have any big game type of carbs like oatmeal, potatoes, pasta, I would have to stop eating them after 9:30 a.m. And then the rest of the day, the only carbs I really can mess with would be like beets or carrots, you know, maybe some pecans, because they actually have a lower amount of calories and they're not so carby. Like they're not as heavy carb as a potato. So that's what I'm gonna do. I really want to have like I only eat my favorite carb when I break my fast. So at brunch, I'm having cinnamon bagels only. I'm not having anything else. It makes no sense for me to keep switching when I know that cinnamon bagels is my favorite type of bread and carb. So I got me some cinnamon bagels. Plus, they're very affordable. You can actually get cinnamon bagels for like $2 and something at the dollar store. So they're cheaper. They're actually cheaper than potatoes, and you don't have to cook them. So that's why it's only wise. I found it wiser to have cinnamon bagels when I break my fast. So that's what I'm doing. Another thing is I'm only eating beef if I'm at a cookout. I've decided to take beef completely out of my diet. I know that's crazy because everybody likes all carnivores. They like their hamburgers, they like their brat roast and all that stuff. And it's like, nah, I'm good. So I'm taking beef completely out of my diet, brat roast completely out of my diet, sausages. I'm not messing with none of that. I have to be at a cookout to eat that stuff. I don't care what anybody say, but the fat is a little bit too high when you're still getting fat from eggs. So it's either like eggs or beef, one or the other. So I decided that um, no beef, no brat roast, no beef sausage, none of that. I don't care if it's say lean beef. It's to me, it's not lean enough. So basically, on my cinnamon bagel, I'm going to be eat most of the time having turkey bacon and egg on my bagel, loaded with lettuce and all that. It's going to be a loaded bagel for brunch. I don't see the point in making anything else like all the different type of breakfast foods when I know that my very favorite food, breakfast food, is a bagel. Is a breakfast bagel. That will cut down. That will keep me from overcooking all the different recipes. Now, what I decide to do is the rest of my day, the food I'm going to eat, it can either, the meat can either be turkey or fish. I'm actually trying to stay away from chicken because it's not good on my blood type diet. So I'm trying to cut back on the chicken completely. So I'm switching from just turkey, like turkey legs, to fish. Since some fish you can't eat every day because of the mercury. You don't want to have too much mercury. So I'm going to be looking for a very low mercury fish so that I can definitely eat that fish every day. Hi, everybody. So there's people that laugh. I guess they need to see me or they don't want to be on video. But I just wanted to share some things that I'm doing. I'm also going to be going on long hikes. I'm going to be going on different walking trails, exploring different walking trails, basically visiting different cities in my communities and getting to know my state. So I'm going to be visiting different cities, parking my car, just walking through the cities, trying to see what it's like to be in all the different cities in my state. Also, I'm going to be visiting different landmarks, popular sightseeing, and popular activities. So I'll be spending a lot of my spare money, on actually activities to celebrate my state. So I'll be going to museums, farms, exhibits, things like that. Just really just staying out of the house once my work is done. So once my creative work is done, I'll pack up my creative stuff, put it in the car, and just pretty much stay on my days off work. Just stay out of the house. Just celebrate the love of my state, and really try to avoid being in places where there's vending machines and food and things like that. Places that say you can't eat, I'm going to go there, like museums. When you go to the museums, a lot of times their cafeterias ain't open. So I'll be going there, to the zoo. I'm going to be doing some indoor activities like some like the aviary. The aviary, I think, is open all year round. So this way I'm getting my steps in without trying. I'm also going to be signing up for dance classes. I'm a good dancer. I'm good at choreography. I enjoy dancing. So I'm going to be going to CCAC for some dance classes. So I think I'm going to take like Argentino dance classes because I really enjoy them. So I'll be looking up CCAC classes for 2026. I'll be doing that. I will also be going to like poetry readings. I will also be living the nightlife. I find that when you're out of your house living the nightlife, you actually get more exercise in because you're not in your house eating. You're out there speaking to people. You're walking to the different restaurants. You're walking to different galleries. So I'll be going to a lot of galleries. So this is some of my plans for getting my body very lean by my birthday. I checked the app. It said it's possible that I can do it, just walking. So, but I'm going to be using other things to help me get very lean early as possible. So I share with y'all some of what I'm doing. I will actually be writing it up. I'll be creating a whole manual for me so that I could just open that notebook and be like, okay, what's on the schedule for today? So like I said, I saw a quote that said, "You're never too late to set a new goal." So I hope y'all set some new goals. Release something right now within the second week of January. Put something out there, and then your new goal will be almost done. And then you can set a new goal come the new moon. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm setting some new goals for 2026, and I'm releasing some things so that all I got to focus on is my new goals. Okay, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I got to check my fish. For some of y'all who are just coming in, I was baking, y'all. So give me a minute, y'all. Let me check this fish. Okay. I'll be right back. right, y'all, my fish is done. So I'm also going to be pre-cooking my food before I go to bed. I'm not waking up killing myself to cook some food. So that's another thing. Um, I'm pre-cooking my dinner the night at the nighttime. So I turned it to a night cook, y'all. For some people, cooking relaxes them. Cooking is like no different than doing creative art. So I'm actually going to go in there and whip me up a big container of eggs. Okay, like a huge bowl of eggs too. So I'm pretty much cooking all my food for the next 2 days, and just so that I can focus on my exercise, my books, my creative stuff, and my planning of my new goals. So if you can't sleep, if you're somebody who deals with getting up at night, one of the things I love to do is bake. Okay, find something to cook. You know you got cooking to do tomorrow, so you might as well just go in your kitchen and cook before you go to bed. There are restaurants still open right now. There is karaoke places still serving food right now. So if you like, I don't know what to do, I'm up, I'm bored, go cook your food for the next day. That's something you could do. Do some pre-cleaning for the next day. Go for a night walk. Get your energy, use your energy, and then lay down. Get up and do some watercolor. In the middle of the night could be Pisces energy. So get up and do some watercolor. Do some little watercolor sprints. Try out some little fun exercises since you can't sleep. Clean up some work that you've been working on. What I did is I went in there and I unloaded the dishes. I cleaned the microwave. I washed everything down in the kitchen so that it's all ready for me tomorrow. And I pre-cooked my fish. Now I'm going to go cook my eggs, and I'm actually going to put my vegetables in a container as well, so that when I go to eat tomorrow, the food is already in the refrigerator for 2 days. Because y'all know my family is grieving right now, and the last thing I want to do is be running to the kitchen every morning and cooking. I'm not in the mood for that. So I'm going to go ahead and cook a lot of my food tonight, so I could just focus on my emotional well-being with my art tomorrow. I'm trying to get into doing art for postcards. Some people still send postcards. So I'm trying to get into that. Photography for postcards and art for that. So I'm looking into that. I think that we're supposed to live a very active, fun-filled life instead of sitting around complaining, dwelling, thinking about what we're going through. We have to actually live our life. So get up and live your life. Your money, that spare money that you have on your check is left over. Your little $50 left on your check. Every 2 weeks if you get paid, go and have some fun with that check, with that $50. I know that we're all told, invest. What investments? The stock market ain't like it used to be. The best investment is into yourself. The best investment is into whatever you're creating. If you don't need to invest any more into that, you might as well spend your money to have fun. Having fun is actually investing in yourself. All right? Okay, if y'all enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know. Bye, everybody.